Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Bash Bros Sports and Betting Podcast. With me, as always, Nick Pastorello. What's up?
I'm concerned about that intro.
That was a dope intro. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was something. Hello.
So,
It
crazy week of football, dude.
Uh, yeah.
Crazy week.
A lot of
Like-
lot of sports. Wow. A lot of scoring. A lot of scoring and a lot of missed field goals. And it's nice to see some chaos. I do love seeing a lot of chaos. So
In all
that's really
forms. In all forms.
in all forms, absolutely. All right. So I think honestly I want to talk about the game I was only able to watch half of because I had to catch a plane home.
Well,
But
let's
did
talk
you did you happen to catch any of the Ravens and Colts game Monday night?
bits and pieces. I was more concerned on checking my fantasy score because Lamar Jackson ended up beating me, costing me the win. So I was more looking at the stats than the game itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but
Understandably so.
yeah.
So when I was able to watch the game, so first of all, we were at the airport in Denver for like 5 hours.
That sucks.
Our flight got delayed 3 times.
Oof, big oof.
We almost got stuck. But when I was watching, bro, like the Colts were destroying the Ravens. I think at one point it was like 25-3 or something like that. I think I think they fucking stopped scoring like in the third quarter. But it was a good game. And when we landed, the first thing I checked was this or what was the score, and I saw Lamar Jackson whip four touchdowns for 400 plus or 440 yards. 442 yards.
Yeah,
Fucking 4 touchdowns. It's ridiculous.
I don't think I've ever seen a performance like that out of Lamar Jackson. 43.
No.
He threw the ball 43 times, 37 completions. Like that's wild. For 442 yards, 4 touchdowns. He scrambled 14 times for 62 yards. Like what didn't he do, you know?
And again led the Ravens in rushing.
But
I
you know what, really quick? Karma has hit the Baltimore Ravens. They did not get their 100 yards rushing.
Oh, did they?
They did not get it.
Didn't?
They only had 86 yards.
Damn.
The streak
that
is
sucks.
over. That's karma.
That's-
I mean, I was
Where's
all
that
for
karma?
it. I was all for it. You were all for it. But you can't look at that happening and say that's not karma.
I mean, I don't know.
Or some type of it.
Just looking at the attempted passes compared to like attempted rush, I mean, it was clear to me that they were really looking for more of like an air attack than it was a running attack.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you fall down early like they did. You know, you kind of got to abandon the run game. So
Right, exactly. So that was clear to me that is Harbaugh still their head coach, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it was clear to me that Harbaugh and their offensive coordinator was just like, fuck the streak, we need to win this game. Especially
No, it wasn't like that at all, in my opinion. I think it was just they fell down hella early. And when you're down like 2 scorers like they were, you got to abandon the run game. And you got to start
that's
throwing
what
it,
I meant.
Yeah. But still, like, holy shit.
That's what I meant when I said, yeah.
Like, Lamar Jackson, like, for all the jokes that he gets of being the best running back playing quarterback, like, I think he just shut everybody up. And I believe that was the biggest comeback of his career. Yeah, you needed OT to do it, but you still did it. And like
Hey,
4
a win's
touchdowns.
a win. This isn't hockey.
Yeah.
You don't get points.
Dub is a dub.
You don't get a partial point for going into overtime. So props
Yeah.
to them for getting it done no matter 5 quarters or 4 quarters, okay? It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
To be able to the fight alone to be down at halftime 10-3 and then come back score 16 points in the fourth quarter to to force an overtime. I believe they came from behind to force an overtime. I don't exactly
They
remember.
did. They scored 20. The Ravens scored 22 unanswered points to win the game.
Okay, yeah. So that's huge alone. So props to Jackson and company
Definitely
for making that happen.
But hey, on the other side of the ball, the Colts didn't look half bad. Yes, they're 1-4, but like Carson Wentz looked pretty good. You know, he wasn't half bad. You know, he's slinging himself for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
right, and
they're
to
there.
only miss 10 of those passes is still halfway decent for as good as Baltimore's defense is. So it was definitely a feat.
Yeah, definitely
In itself.
He had a lot of help though.
That game hurt. Huh?
He had a lot of help though. I mean, Jonathan Taylor went off. Like,
yeah,
he went off. That's all I can say. He had 3 catches on 4 targets for 116 yards and a touchdown as a running back with a 76 yard long score. Like, holy shit.
Right, yeah.
And exactly. then to back it up with another 15 carries for 53 yards and another score. So, yes, Carson Wentz did pretty well, but I think he was really bailed out by Jonathan Taylor. But they should have won this game. You can't let the Ravens, who have had so much trouble scoring and getting into the end zone, you can't let them score 22 unanswered on that. Like, that just can't happen.
No. That's especially with the favorite of like how what's the word I'm looking for? With how much regard that the Colts defense actually got, especially like last year and coming into this year where they were kind of projected to be like top 5 defense in the league. Projected.
Right.
Not saying it's for sure or anything, but and then to blow that's a huge gut punch. That is a huge gut punch to them. So I'm gonna chalk it up to they got tired. I don't know. But
you got to give Lamar Jackson his due. You got to give him his due.
Yeah, 100%.
He earned that dub. So
even though they didn't get the streak going, still, I mean, 86 yards is nothing to thumb your nose at either. So
right.
You know.
So now that we've addressed this game, let's go to the game that me and you were really focused on. Didn't end the way we wanted it to due to an injury, but the Rams-Seahawks game are what were your thoughts on that? 26-17 Rams.
I wasn't able to watch it, unfortunately. As much as I did, I caught I don't know, maybe a quarter and a half of it. But let me see if I can pull it up real quick. What happened to Russ?
It's his finger. He had to get surgery on his finger, on his throwing hand, I believe. So that's
okay.
So when that really sucks because I believe they said 4 weeks at best.
Ooh.
They're expecting in between 4 and 6 weeks for him to return. So hopefully maybe Geno Smith can come in and lead them to a victory or two to kind of keep them in that race, in that division. Because if you bring in Geno Smith and he loses out until Russell comes back, you're done. You're done in that division. There's no catching up. The Rams and the Cardinals are going to be so far ahead of you, it's not even going to be close. And even after, because I believe he went down like around halftime, so Seattle was winning. Yeah. And then he goes down, and then the Rams kind of come back and win the game. But I'm worried, man. I'm really, really worried about the Seahawks because I don't. And granted, nothing bad about Geno Smith, right? He came in, he went.
He didn't do half bad.
He went
for 17.
Yeah. He didn't do too bad for coming in at halftime, and this week he's taking QB1 reps, and he's with he's more involved in the game plan. So we'll see. He maybe something happens. But just from what I've seen from the past of Geno Smith, I just don't have the faith. But could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, he didn't look too bad. He went 10 for 17, with 131 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. But when again, I didn't really get a chance to watch it. I was pretty preoccupied all weekend. The only game I was able to sit down and watch was the Bears Raiders game. But does this? I don't know, because of how tight that the NFC West actually is. Do you think that this loss right here, which knocks them down to 2-3, do you think that hurts them for a chance at maybe a wild card spot or trying to overtake the division? Like, I know it's going to be pretty hard to do since the Cardinals are 5-0 right now and just continue to roll, and the Rams are doing Ram stuff with Stafford. You know what I mean? Like they're not looking bullshit this year. Like they're here for some jewelry.
Look, the NFC is talented. It's stacked. Unfortunately, with all the talent and everything that is around in the NFC, I just don't see Geno Smith competing with that. So I'm already going to write off the Seahawks out of playoff contention, because I just think that they're going to fall too far behind. And with the hot start that the Cardinals and Rams are on, I don't think you can catch up and compete for that wild card spot when Russ comes back.
Right, and that's that's kind of where I was at as well. Look, can you honestly sit there and say that Geno Smith is going to be your answer while Russ is out? Genuinely.
Right.
So
do you call Cam Newton?
No, I don't.
Reason being is Russell Wilson is a mobile quarterback. Cam's a mobile quarterback. He would already fit the scheme a lot more than Geno Smith would. I consider it. I really, really consider it. Because I think Cam Newton can keep you in the race a hell of a lot better than Geno Smith can.
I mean, he couldn't even keep New England in the race last year.
But that's two totally different offenses, though.
Two
different offenses.
I understand, but at one point, sorry, man. At one point, you have to sit there and say, like, not every scheme is going to call for a mobile quarterback. Like, I understand that, but at the end of the day, you as a quarterback have to fit whatever scheme that your coach gives you. He relied too much on the mobility aspect, and it showed a lot of flaw in his game that I think the NFL, like the rest of the league, took notice of.
Right,
so and so my opinion, I wouldn't call Cam by any means. What I personally would do is I would write this season off as a loss, try to get a top 10 pick in the draft, and maybe start looking at the future instead of relying on Russ, because, yes, he's hitting his prime right now or is in the middle of his prime, but, eventually that prime is going to end. So do you sit there and kind of hope for a higher draft pick and try to swipe a mobile quarterback?
No. I don't see the Seahawks doing that at all. If I'm the Seahawks, either you have all the confidence in the world in Geno Smith and you ride with him and hope that it works out. But if it's me, I'm calling Cam. If I got the cap space and I can do it, I would do it. But I believe
they even have the cap space though?
I'm not sure. But here's the thing. You call Cam, say Russell comes back in 4 weeks. You call Cam and Cam wins you 3 games. What do you do?
Well, at that point, you put Russell back in.
Right. But I would try to get creative with it. I would try to maybe integrate Cam Newton in the offense as well with Russell Wilson. Kind of like how
a Taysom Hill shit?
Exactly. Oh, man. Speaking of Taysom Hill, man. Oh, my God. Carted off the field, dude.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he got carted off the field, man. I hope Taysom Hill is okay. He's like a son to Sean Payton, man. I hope that he's good.
He's definitely, yeah. That's upsetting. Anytime a cart gets pulled out. That's not.
I
something you
believe
wanna pay attention
the
for.
cart was pulled out quite a few times this week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we can get into that in a little bit here, but um, yeah, I mean,
But do you so you would say, okay, so if you were the front office of the Seahawks, you're calling Cam Newton, you're saying, oh, what's your offer? Say everything works out. Cam is now in the Pacific Northwest. Now he wins you 2-3 games while Russ is out. Russ comes back. Do you use Cam as more of a Taysom Hill?
yes, you do. You integrate him. I know it's going to be hard to miss a guy like Cam Newton. I believe he's like 6'5", and he's a pretty big guy. I mean, if he lines out wide, I mean, you'd be like, is that Cam or is that DK Metcalf? Oh shit! Like who is it?
But he didn't have a training camp though, did he?
No, kind of. He went through preseason, or not, maybe not preseason, but he went through training camp with the Patriots, and then the Patriots cut him. I think like a week before Game 1. So I believe he did have a preseason with the Patriots.
Okay,
but
I didn't know
needless to say, because of the situation that you're in and the talent in the NFC West, it might be something that you consider to try to get a little creative if you're wanting to compete, which I don't see why you wouldn't want to compete.
I don't see why not. I mean,
so I get creative with it, kind of like how back in the day, like when the Jets had Tim Tebow, and unfortunately every time you saw Tebow, you know that it was going to be a quarterback draw up the middle for 2.5 yards. But
yeah,
I think Cam's better than that. And I think you can get creative and integrate some of the, because Pete Carroll's sneaky. That's honestly something that I could see Pete Carroll doing, but I don't know if it's his call to make. Well, Geno Smith, like we said, didn't do half bad. 10 for 17, 131 yards. Maybe you give him another game or two before you make that decision. But if you make the decision to ride with Geno, and Russell Wilson does not come back in 4 weeks, if he's closer to 6 weeks, then you need to kind of start looking at options and kind of freaking out.
If you want to compete, you make that decision now. Because this is not a division, and the NFC is pretty stacked with talent right now. So if you want to compete to try to even sneak into that wild card spot, you're making that call now. Because you're not going to win the division. The Cardinals and the Rams are too strong right now.
Exactly.
You're not going to win the division. You're going to have to sneak into a wild card spot. If you really want to compete, you make that decision now. You either call Cam or you ride out for a top 10 pick in the draft next year for a quarterback. This is not a wait out situation. This is not a, all right, we'll give Geno a couple of games. No, this is we need to get on the phone with Cam now. Fucking let's go now. Come on.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I just say that you consider it. That's all. I mean, but hey, aren't we all just a bunch of couch general managers, man? So
absolutely.
what works in Madden doesn't work in real life.
But at the end of the day, it's like that's not too far fetched. If you want to win, you need to take every chance to win.
Right.
So if you want to try to compete, you make whatever necessary options. You take every option that you have. And right now, Cam Newton will fit your scheme better than really any of the quarterbacks that are on free agent market right now, which I don't know.
Exactly. So
who is, to be honest,
if it's me, I'm calling Cam.
I'll ride with you on that one.
Yeah.
I know that I said to wait it out to swipe a top 10 pick, but I'm with you on that one. I'm calling Cam and try to use him as much as you can.
Do you think anybody calls Cam this year?
I don't think so. I think maybe the Jets.
Nah, you don't bench your number 1 pick or number 2 overall pick, whatever. No. Here's number 1. No, number 2. Number 2. No, here's number. You don't bench your number 2 overall pick. You just
okay, but it's clear
that
it's not working. So what do?
You got to write it out. You're starting a really, really green rookie who is not adapting to NFL play. So, and it will just be a very, very bad look if you were to bench him right now.
I mean, yeah, it'd be a bad look, but you want to win a fucking game. Win a fucking game.
Yeah, but you got to be invested in him because if you bench him now, What's that do for morale? What's that do for motivation? How does he now think? What does he think of the organization? Does he want to continue to play there? Stuff like that. You don't bench. At that point, you might as well bench Trevor Lawrence for being 0-5, 0-4, whatever the fuck they are. So
Yeah.
you might as well do the same thing in Jacksonville. Because
That's fair.
you want to
All
win a
right,
game
so-
too in Jacksonville. So you don't bench your first overall pick. You just don't do it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
So,
All right,
but now
what about
speaking,
Houston?
Houston's a different situation because the whole Deshaun Watson concept is he talented? Yes. But people are hesitant to make the call for two reasons. One, well, teams that have already made the call, Houston's asking for way too much, like 3 or 4 first rounders. Like, holy shit. And two, I think everyone's kind of waiting to see what charges are kind of brought on Deshaun Watson and
Okay.
what the outcome of that is going to be. Because God forbid you freaking trade it for him and you give 3 or 4 first rounders for him. You get him. A quarterback that, by the way, had no training camp, had no preseason, so he's probably not going to play this year at all. So,
Right.
and then what if he gets convicted? You're screwed. So I believe
you just
teams,
basically gave up the farm for
Yeah.
like, possibility.
Teams are hesitant right now until they see the legal repercussions of the Deshaun Watson situation. So that's a totally different situation for Houston.
Well, what the reason why I say Houston is because you do have that mobile quarterback scheme. Tyrod Taylor is out, but Mills is taking over. Mills is clearly not the answer and will not be the answer.
You're not that guy, pal.
But-
You're not that guy.
Exactly. So do you sit there and say like, okay, well, hey, here's a quarterback that had a training camp, that had a preseason, that is sitting right now doing nothing. Do you call him and try to right the ship? Because look, there's a possibility that if the Texans, if Tyrod Taylor didn't go down, there was a possibility that the Texans could be leading the AFC South again over the Titans right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say the sad part
So-
is they can still compete for that division.
You still can compete for that division. The Titans are 3-2 right now. Okay, so it's not too far fetched. Like a lot of things have to go right for you to compete for that division. But if you have that confidence with that mobile quarterback that it was a starter, that did he win a ring with Carolina?
Who? Cam?
Cam.
No, they lost.
They lost. Okay. But he has that know-how, you know what I mean? He's got
Right.
the experience. He is that veteran.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
mean,
not
if I'm
Seattle-
Houston, I consider, just because, like you said, Mills isn't the guy. I consider it. I don't know what the timetable is for a Tyrod Taylor return.
It's said, I just saw it the other day. Hold on, bear with. Continue talking. But I just saw like
if Tyrod Taylor is still out for a very long time, do you even want to compete right now? Do you maybe want to try to get that draft pick? I know we talk about tanking a lot on this show. We really do. But if you're Houston, you really kind of got to think about it because you lost J.J. Watt in the offseason. Tyrod's hurt. Like, when does the rebuild start, you know? And I think
it
that's
already
why
did.
that's why they're asking for so many first rounders for Deshaun Watson, because they want to start that rebuild. Now here's the thing. You bring in Cam, you win a couple games, and all of a sudden you lose out on a draft pick. You know, like you get a higher draft pick.
Right.
So if I'm Houston, I don't call Cam because I don't think Houston competes. I think you focus more on your rebuild. So I don't think Houston calls. I think it'd be better if Seattle called Cam.
Understandable. I can see that. That kind of is in the same line as what I believe as well. So
yeah. So
yeah.
but anyway,
Now since we're still on the NFC West ish topic, do you think, because before we talked about the way too soon prediction for the MVP,
right.
and I believe you refused to say Kyler Murray's name.
No. I agreed. I agreed with Kyler Murray.
No, because if you go back, I said, hey, there's one more you're missing. You were like, I don't want to say it.
So we did two. The very, very first one, I picked Brady. Second one, last week, I agreed for Kyler Murray. Now, this week, I'm back on Brady. So we'll see.
I'm still kind of riding with K1. Even though he I say like I'm just gonna hop on a field on Sunday and rip more, but with 239 yards and 1 touchdown in a 17-10 win, it wasn't exactly a route that we're accustomed to with Kyler Murray. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, the Cards are 5-0 for the first time since 1974. So do you look at that and say, okay, that's on the defense, or do you look at that and say, okay, that's on Kyler Murray? And is he in the conversation for MVP?
Is he in the conversation? Yes. 100%. It's amazing what he is doing with the Cardinals. You cannot write him out.
No.
But on one hand, you're like, yeah, that's really impressive. But on the other hand, you got Big Daddy Tom. Like, I don't know if you really saw his stats for last week, but my man went off. 411 yards and threw for another 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And you were worried that the Dolphins were going to give them a hard time.
To
be fair, in the first quarter they did, because the Dolphins were winning at the end of the first quarter. But then Brady said, fuck that.
Right, exactly. So, and I didn't think that there was, Jesus fucking Christ, 5 touchdowns.
Exactly. As of right now, like, and I'm not going to make another prediction for MVP probably till at least halfway through the season, so give it another 3 or 4 weeks. Brady's my MVP, and you cannot convince me otherwise. You just cannot do it.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of hard with the numbers that he is consistently putting up, and I don't understand how they have 1 loss in the season already. But it's hard to go against you on that.
It's true.
It really is.
You can't convince me otherwise. So, and it's holy crap. I mean, at this pace, do you think Tom Brady keeps it up? Like, holy crap, he's gonna.
What? I need to find this out with a single season.
I just give straight props to Tom Brady. He's just such an amazing player, and I think he is surrounded by talent. This is the best team he's been surrounded on, in my opinion, for his whole career. This is the best team he's been on during his entire career. So, and just think about it. He came to the Bucs last year with, they had some talent, but they didn't have the chemistry. And they still won the Super Bowl. Now, they have a whole season with them. All 22 starters, all right, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, are all back. You don't lose nobody. You are rolling. You've only lost 1 game since November of last year. So, like,
okay, so
you go.
So right now, let me throw this at you. As of right now, 5 weeks into the season, right? He has 15 touchdowns on the year. The single season record is 55.
Peyton Manning, I believe, correct?
Yeah, with the Broncos, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Do you think that there is a possibility that he comes close or breaks it this year?
If he keeps going the way that he's going, yes.
Because right now, I mean, just basic math, he's averaging about 3 per game, right? As obviously, there was 1 game that he had 0. How fucking dare he?
Right, and that was when he went back in the New England.
Loser. So. Yeah, you fucking loser. No, I'm just kidding. But he's had 2 games that are over 5, or that are 5 touchdown passes. He had 1 game that was 4 touchdown passes, and then another game that had 1. So, with that being said, I really do think that he has an opportunity to break that, because you said it yourself that this is the most talented team that he's had in years.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think he does have a shot to beat it. I really do.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that one. I want to know what their schedule is for the rest of the year, because
Oh,
I really do think that he
I
has
don't
an
have the rest of their
opportunity to get a touchdown.
schedule, but I do have. I mean, they go into Philly next week.
Got DirecTV's
I
plan.
chalk that
That's
up as a
another 3
dub.
touchdowns.
and
Whoa.
on demand.
That's a 3
Serena,
touchdown
movie.
minimum.
Serena,
Where's this?
movie.
What is going on?
What happened?
There's audio coming, and I don't know where the audio is.
Match point, Serena Williams.
This is her moment.
Quiet, please.
I'm so scared.
What happened?
Where's this audio coming from?
What audio? On your phone?
No, on one of the tabs that I have open.
Oh God.
That was scary. Mom, come pick me up. I think an ad rolled or something. I don't know if
Oh.
the record picked that up, but that was fucking scary.
We apologize for anyone that's listening right now for
Oh
that
my
momentary lapse of
God.
fucking whatever that was.
That was scary.
That's why, like, if I'm looking something up, I silence everything. So, like, if
Well,
it
the
does
thing is,
fucking
like,
pop-
I'm looking at the same monitor that I'm recording off of, and that's recording from us. So I don't know if any of this audio makes it to the record. I hope not. But yeah, whew. If
we
it happens,
apologize in advance if that does happen.
that was just scary.
Okay, where were we? 'Cause now I'm lost.
I don't know. I'm lost myself.
All right, so let's flip it to the. Did you watch the Browns Chargers game? That shootout?
Man, that game was amazing. Holy shnikes.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I know I've said that about 6 different times today.
Do you?
I was only able to see a little bit of the
You really don't
highlights.
watch a lot of games.
Well, I apologize that I was a little bit preoccupied
I
this
know
Sunday.
you have an excuse for this week.
Right. But I want to talk about Herbie fucking fully loaded.
I love it. I love it.
26 for 43, 398 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Holy shit.
He scored me 70 points in fantasy football.
Did he really?
70 freaking points.
Dude, I want to know. Also, he had a rushing touchdown as well.
I know. I was so happy. I
wanna
was so
know
excited.
I just want to know why Austin Eckler gets like no coverage whatsoever.
He's just
He
a
is
G.
on
He's just
an
a G.
He is on an absolute terror this year.
He's just a G. That's all I can say.
I mean, so far he's only got 4 touchdowns this year, but he's got some yardage, man.
Look, one of those touchdowns needs to have an asterisk on it because he was trying to kill clock to end the game, and the Browns literally pulled him into the end zone. So
That reminds me of oh fuck, what game was that? Was that Falcons and Lions last year? I don't remember what it was, but I remember that it was like the same thing. It's like trying to kill clock. Running back for the Falcons, I want to say it was the Falcons, gets through the line and no one stops him, and he was about to score. Tries to fucking stop and dies at the 1 yard line, but the ball already crossed the plate. It was a touchdown.
yeah,
I don't remember who it was. I don't remember what.
I
team
think
it was.
I think it was the
Lions.
Browns, wasn't it? Kareem Hunt.
It might have been. You might have been. You're probably right on that. But that's what that reminded me of.
I want to say it was Kareem Hunt.
You're probably right. But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, let's talk about that game because that was Herbie fully loaded, man. You said it. Like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
you
got to put him in the MVP race too.
That's exactly what I was about to say. He's definitely one up there. I would say he's probably like maybe, I don't know, I'd say like maybe third in line.
Okay, I mean, I could give you a top 5 MVP race that like it's down to me for.
Okay, who you got?
I give you number 1 Brady, number 2
Okay.
Kyler,
Okay.
number 3 Herbie, number 4 Josh Allen,
Okay.
and number 5. I don't really know who I'd put in that 5 spot.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah,
You put
yeah.
Lamar up there?
A little bit. There could be a tie for 5th, Lamar Jackson. I even kind of want to put Matthew Stafford up there right now.
I could see that. So I could see that if we were talking like week 3. If we were talking about this like week 3. Oh, excuse me. Talking about this like week 3, then I would probably put Matt Stafford up there. I know, like I was talking, I think the first and second episode of us where I was talking about Matt Stafford and how he should be considered. I wouldn't put him as a tie for 5th place if you're gonna have fifth with Jackson and Stafford. I don't see that.
Okay, I mean, that's you're entitled to your opinion. It's a wrong opinion, but it's still an opinion.
Okay. I mean, I gotta go. I think my number 1 will probably be Brady, just because it's fucking TB12, man. It's fucking Tom fucking Brady in Tampa Bay, or Tampa Brady, whatever you want to fucking call it. But my number 2 probably has to be Justin Herbert. Number 3, K1. Number 4 would be Lamar. And I think number 5, I probably would give Josh Allen the nod at number 5 for sure.
I mean, Josh Allen, he started off a little slow, but he's getting in rhythm. I wish he could find Stephon Diggs a little bit more in the end zone for fantasy football purposes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, clearly, I thought you were just talking about in general, because I'm just like, well, clearly it didn't fucking matter with the Chiefs game.
Well, here's the thing. Dude, honestly, I think in Buffalo, I think that Emmanuel Sanders is WR1 right now.
I will agree with that.
Hands down. He is playing the best ball of his career, and he is making Stephon Diggs an afterthought. Because every time I tune into the freaking Buffalo game, doesn't matter when or where it is, I see Emmanuel Sanders in the fucking end zone.
Yeah, I'm definitely... Yeah. I mean, he had fucking 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions on 5 targets for 54 yards. So he's definitely wide receiver 1 in Buffalo. There's no doubt about that one at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it sucks for Stephon Diggs. Maybe it might motivate him a little bit, but I know that Stephon Diggs, just because of his time in Minnesota, he does not want to be a wide receiver 2. He wants to be number 1 and number 1 only. So, doesn't motivate him. Doesn't make him want to change the scenery. You never know.
Who knows? I mean, if I'm being totally honest right now, at the beginning of the year, I was 100%, and I know that I keep talking about the Bears, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But at the beginning of the year, I was 100%, even in the offseason, I was like, give Allen Robinson a blank fucking check. Let him write in whatever fucking number he wants. Let him tell you however many fucking years he wants. But now I'm more or less leading for what can we get for him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yes, he's wide receiver 1 in Chicago. But he's been getting less and less targets. But when he does get targeted, it's obviously, huge plays, big fucking plays that move the ball, move the chains. Right. I would almost be interested to see if there could be a package for Stephon Diggs at the deadline. Because maybe...
Oh, man. I don't know if the Bears really have the assets to offer. Because Buffalo is going to want a huge return for him. And Robinson himself isn't going to cut it. It's not going to be a one-for-one swap. Not even if you throw in a pity 5th or 6th rounder, it's not going to happen. It needs to.
He'd be like a defensive starter.
Yeah, it's going to be like Robinson, like another player and at least 2 first rounders. So it's gonna be a hefty price, a hefty price.
But if you're talking about, if we're talking about teams that want to compete, obviously Buffalo's going to have no problems competing this year. I mean,
so are you already writing out the Bears then? If you're thinking about trading AR, are you writing? Well, then why do you want to trade him then?
Well, it's not that I'm not right. It's not that I'm writing out the Bears. It's just I know that I'm not going to expect anything from the shit show that Matt Nagy's ego is, along with the constant back and forth about who the fuck is starting every week. Granted, last week he said that Justin Fields is going to be our starter moving forward, but that was fucking 3 weeks too late, dude. Like, if it wasn't for the Detroit game, Justin Fields would have zero fucking confidence going into Green Bay. Wait, is it at home? I don't think it's at home. I think they're in Chicago. Come on, faster.
They are in Chicago.
They're in Chicago. Okay. Going up against Green Bay, period. Home or away. So it took 4 fucking weeks for Matt Nagy to give up play calling. It's not that I'm writing them off. It's not that I'm trying to say like the Bears won't compete or have a shot at competing. We'll be a wild card team, because do you honestly see Minnesota or Detroit like giving a run for the division at all? No, you don't.
I did it first. To start, I had Minnesota winning the NFC North. They've fucking proved me wrong.
Let's come back to reality now and talk about how it's always going to be the Packers and Bears number 1, number 2 in the NFC North for fucking probably years to come. Like, I don't know. But like I said, it's not that I'm writing them off. It's just I'm not expecting much. And of course I want Allen Robinson to be a Bear for fucking life. Of course I want him to. He's a fucking he will win every 50-50 ball that comes his way. But I don't know, man. I don't see him staying with the Bears after the deadline.
Okay. Something to keep an eye on there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, and like I said, like I know I probably sound like a fucking like a downer about the Bears, but it's just, you know, I'm a rational fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not sitting there saying like we're gonna fucking we've only got 2 losses. That's all we're gonna have. We're gonna go 15-2. What the fuck is up, NFL? I'm like, no. There's gonna be growing pains with Justin Fields all year, but as long as Nagy still gives up the play calling to Bill Lazor and lets his mobile quarterback be mobile and keep a play going with his legs and fuck your designed runs, we'll have at least a positive record. Maybe sneak into a wild card game. Maybe win a wild card game to go divisional. I don't fucking know. But I just don't see big things happening. And I fucking pray to God that I'm wrong this year. But I just don't see it going the way that everyone else sees it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're sounding pretty intense for someone that's went into Las Vegas and won.
Statement win right there.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the game, not anything else that happened within that organization. We'll get to that probably towards the end of the show. Okay. But let's just talk about the game, okay? Because you're a big Bears fan. You are the biggest Bears fan.
I am?
And I was there. I was at the game. So
right. I was supposed to be there.
So let's talk about it.
Gotcha. So, I mean, to start off, the Bears looked flat as fuck starting off. That's just the passes weren't going anywhere that I had anticipated them to go. They didn't look the way that everyone had anticipated them going into Las Vegas and looking. But the second quarter was really where they hit their stride. Really where they hit their stride. And I was really, really looking good. I was really enjoying it. First of all, I don't think there is a dirtier fucking team than the Raiders. Because if you look at a lot of look, I'm not one to be like, you're a dirty ass player because you hit our quarterback. You know, I'm not looking at it like that. But if you look at every late hit that Justin Fields had, it was at his fucking legs. It wasn't like he was getting pushed over, like whatever, like that's just football, whatever, get over it, right? But it was like every late hit that happened, it was fucking at his legs trying to take him out. Not to mention, he gets hurt, comes in, Andy Dalton comes in for 3 plays. First of all, Andy Dalton looked pretty fucking good on a 3rd and 7, getting 8 yards for a first down. Then Justin Fields comes back. He goes 12 for 20, 111 yards with a touchdown, which was a fucking dime to Jesper Horsted. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
Well, duh, you did. Of course, you were there. But
it's almost like it was real time.
Shut up. But that was a touchdown that you had to be confident to throw. So,
okay.
I mean, Carr with his eyeliner wearing.
I can say, to me, the Bears did not look impressive. They got the job done, but I think this was a case of more the Raiders beating themselves than the Bears beating the Raiders. Not writing anything off that the Bears did during that game, right? Mm-hmm. You still went out and you still won. But what have we said about 1 million times about the Raiders during this show? They start off flat. If you play from behind, it eventually is going to get you. And let me just say real quick that I am damn glad that they finally didn't go to OT at home. Holy shit. Oh my God. But
the defense looked really fucking good, and I was
they did
with how well that it was basically a Khalil Mack revenge game, and I know that that should have been that revenge game should have been in London 3 years ago. But
I mean, what was cool was being able to still see the sportsmanship and the friendship behind Khalil Mack and Derek Carr. Because even after Khalil Mack introduced his nutsack to Derek Carr's face, he still gave him a little pat on the back and said, "Hey man, miss you, love you," gave him a smooch and called it a day. But what gets me also was it doesn't show up on the stats, but I feel like Derek Carr was always on his back. Yeah, he only got sacked 2 or 3 times. But it's like every time I looked, I feel like he was on the ground. So when you're trying to play from behind and you're on the ground, it's not going to end well. And, God, I lost track of how many drop passes the Raiders had. Holy God.
I want to say there was at least 5.
They had the extra buttery popcorn because they just had Butterfingers the entire game. And I think the bigger issue is the fact that Darren Waller only had 4 catches. Yes, he had 8 targets. He had a couple drop passes. But you need to get Darren Waller more involved in the game earlier. And because, like I said, the Raiders always come out flat to start the game. God, I think the first 3 or 4 drives of the game on both sides were 3 and outs. It was just such a sluggish start to the game. But besides all the drop passes from the Raiders, they had a lot of penalties, like you were talking about. Roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness.
But I will say that the pass interference call, I forget who was covering Allen Robinson, but it got called on him. That had to have been a makeup call from that bullshit pass interference bullshit roughing the passer call that got called against the Bears in the red zone that set up for that Josh Jacobs touchdown.
Right.
That had to have been a makeup call because there was no way in fucking hell that was pass interference.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and rewatch the play, but I'll take your word for it. But
I also want to talk about this a little bit. Like the Bears rushing game.
Oh, phenomenal!
Really fucking good.
Phenomenal.
It was collectively between Khalil Herbert, who is looking like a running back in the NFL right now, and Damian Williams, who was such a steal.
By committee right now in there for sure. Definitely by committee.
Yeah. And God, they look good. They collectively had 139 yards with 1 touchdown, 37 attempts. So they both of the running game look good, and I'm not feeling the David Montgomery loss right now. If our run game got stuffed from the beginning, I'd be like, "Oh fuck, this is gonna be a long game. We don't have Montgomery. He's gonna be out for at least 3-4 weeks. Like it's gonna be rough. Like we're not gonna have any run game." But both of them coming out and taking split duty, God, they look good. And I don't know if it just had to do with like the front seven of the Raiders defense just not holding up against the run game. I don't know exactly what the problem was, but the fucking run game looked good. And Justin Fields had some confidence. He had some big fucking balls swinging in that game.
Yeah, I think like I said, Justin Fields is gonna get more comfortable and more motivated with every game he plays, and you kind of saw it. I mean, it was a young quarterback against a very young defense, and he went out and did his thing. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I still think that the Raiders beat themselves on this game. Now, granted, I believe that, I don't believe, I know there's been some distractions in that clubhouse that we'll address later. I think that has something to do with these 2 losses in a row now. You started 3-0, you lose 2 losses, you lose 2 games in a row. Gruden is gone now, but like I said, we'll talk about that later. But like, it's a snowball effect right now. And it can get to the point now to where I see the Raiders actually finishing last in their division.
I can see that. Although it's funny because the Chiefs have a losing record and the Raiders have a above 500 record right now.
For now.
Yeah. And we're only 5 weeks in.
Yeah. So
but no, it's definitely going to be interesting for sure to see how the AFC West plays out.
I do have a proposition for the NFL.
Let's hear it.
Widen the goalposts, because holy shit.
5.
Can we talk about? No, I'm not just talking about one specific game. I'm talking about extra points in general. I know you do. Did you know there was a league high, 13, I believe, extra points missed last week? 13 extra points. And now let's talk about the game that you want to talk about. The fucking
wait, hold on. Do you know who didn't miss a field goal?
Cody Parkey.
The bitch. Bears.
So
Iro Santos went 2 for 2. He went 2 for 2 on extra points and 2 for 2 on field goals, with the longest being 46 yards.
Congratulations. Talk to me when you have a winning record. Look.
Winning record. Wait, hold on. We have a winning record. What do you mean? Okay, so bet. Let's fucking talk then.
We've talked about the Bears for the past 20-30 minutes. I'm fucking done with the Bears until
let's talk
later.
About the shit show that was the Bengals and Packers.
This fucking doink fest, dude.
How good does your accuracy have to be as a kicker to hit the fucking flag?
Look, I have the best story. Okay, so while I was at the Raiders-Bears game, they show NFL Red Zone highlights. They show updates, okay? And they showed a package of this game. And the package was of just the missed field goals. The entire crowd, 60,000 people were into it, bro. They were watching this. Just miss after miss after miss. And then the crowd finally started to cheer when they finally hit one. Oh my god, dude. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. I couldn't dude, when you get 60,000 people getting so emotionally attached to that, oh my god, it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
Oh my god.
But I give Mason Crosby a break. Look, he made I think 30 straight field goals or something like that. He made a franchise record. Kickers are gonna have a bad day. It's gonna happen. The Packers should not have been in that State to have to win it on a field goal anyway in overtime.
In overtime,
That's two games in a row where we've relied on a field goal. So I don't think we put ourselves in that position. We shouldn't have to.
So what was the problem then? So let me ask you this then. What was the problem? Was it a lack of offense? Because Devontae Adams had a game to remember on that game. So was it an offensive problem, or was it the Packers defense, or was it the Bengals defense?
I don't think it was either. I think
Okay.
it was both teams had a lot of trouble in the red zone.
Okay.
I mean, both teams played phenomenally. Both teams had great plays, big plays. But when it came down to the nitty-gritty, both teams were not that great in the red zone, which made them rely on the field goal. So, and I just think, well, first off, taking nothing from the Bengals. They look fantastic, dude. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase look, they're gonna be the new Brady Edelman, dude. I really think
providing that Joe Burrow can remain healthy. I don't know if you saw, but he was taken to a local hospital.
Oh, I thought he was
that game.
Dude, did you see it after the hit? I thought he was dead. Oh my god, I thought he was dead.
No,
oh my god,
just some oxygen issues. That's all.
Well, oh my god, dude. He when he got hit, it was on the same leg that he tore his ACL, and when he was on the ground, he just had like the zombie face. He looked like he was dead.
But if you also look too, like I said, I don't know if you saw it, but he was taken to the hospital after that game for a throat contusion.
Yeah. I hope he's okay. I believe.
Look, I don't care. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I hope he's okay. I mean, it's a competitive game. I don't think there was any intent on anything of trying to hurt Joe Burrow. I hope he recovers well. I know I read today that he's just having some issues kind of speaking. So, but I mean, I'm glad that he's okay.
Like, my thing is, you as a person have to put any sort of rivalry aside. Or just, not even if it's a rivalry game, just put any kind of bias aside. Like, I don't want to see anyone hurt. I would absolutely love to see everybody not have a fucking problem. Like, not an injury, not a little hurt. I don't like to see injury reports every week.
Right.
Excuse me.
What really scared me as far as injuries go? What really scared me was, did you see Daniel Jones get up and kind of wobble a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is scary, dude. That is scary.
Good God.
That is scary.
I don't ever want to fucking see that. I don't care what teams are playing.
Daniel Jones is in concussion protocol. They say that it's looking good for him to start next game. So I'm, like I said, once again, I'm glad that he is okay. Because that just I couldn't imagine being in front of him when someone does that. But even just watching it on TV, when he got up and wobbled, you're just like, oh my god.
Right. No, I hear you, dude. Like, I watched that and I was like, oh fuck. There's a lot of that. A lot of times, like, if a concussion is bad enough, that's career ending.
Definitely.
So, I don't want to see someone who has a bright future in the NFL, regardless of position or whatever the case may be. I don't want to see anybody like 2016, 17, Zach Miller from the Bears, the tight end that almost had his leg amputated.
Oh, man. I remember that. Oh, my God.
Like, I just remember, like scrolling through Twitter and just looking at, like, different, like Packers fans were saying, like, oh, God, I hope he's okay. Like every fan base of the NFC North, every fan base in the entire NFL, period, we're just like, oh my god, I hope he doesn't get hurt. Who was the Washington football team quarterback on like the same day and the same leg?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Yeah. Oh my god.
Here's the crazy thing about that. Same day. Same leg. I believe it was on the same part of the field.
Yeah.
Dude, like there was so much crazy stuff about that, but oh my god, dude, I love football. I love the competitiveness, but I do not wish any type of injury upon anybody because
Like that happens in any sport though.
yeah.
Like you see a fastball go up and high and tight and crack someone in the fucking jaw, or just a nasty hit to the boards in hockey that like fucking it was the Knights and Sharks 2018 2019 I think that
Are you talking about
Cody
not a
Eek
5 minute?
in the
Yep,
5 minute
yep.
major, yeah, and just the blood leaking out of his fucking helmet.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal.
Oh my god, like I hate seeing that shit because like look, like these guys spend their entire lives preparing for a moment where they get their name called, right? And to see it go down like that, that's you can never plan for that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like as a fan of all sports, period, I hate seeing that kind of shit.
Yeah, for sure. It sucks, but unfortunately, it's part of the game. You just
It
gotta,
is. I mean,
you just gotta
everyone
hope
knows what they
for
signed up for.
a fast, healthy, recovery.
Recovery.
Yeah. So I hope look, Taysom Hill, Daniel Jones, Joe Burrow, Saquon. Like I hope they're all good, man.
Yeah. Fuck.
But yeah. So I mean, back to this game though. Like I said, I think red zone was an issue. Devontae Adams had a day. I don't know if you remember last week. I was a little concerned about his high amount of targets. I am no longer concerned. I am relieved. Throw him the ball every time. he is going to get it. So if it works, it works. But I'm tired of having to end the game on a field goal. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely feel that. I'm really interesting to see what's going to happen this week.
yeah, it'll be an interesting week for sure. What I think will be interesting is I don't know if you noticed or heard, but the game I'm looking forward to the most this week is the Browns and the Cardinals. I think this is going to be a really true test for the Cardinals. But they're going to be without some key players.
Okay.
Chandler Jones has tested positive. So he's not going to play. So there's, now you don't got to worry about what side you're going to double up with J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Now you can just focus on J.J. Watt. The Cardinals lost their starting tight end for the season. He got carted off the field as well.
Jesus.
Max Williams. Yeah. So, and I believe the Cardinals are also going to be without starting center Rodney Hudson. So,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting because if the Cardinals can come out and stay hot, I don't think it'll be an issue. The Browns will be constantly on the heels of the Cardinals. I guarantee it, like a chihuahua not wanting to go away. But the key to this game is the Cardinals have to start strong, start quick, and get a lead. Because if they're playing from behind, I think that the Browns are just too much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Can definitely see
So
that.
that's my pick of the week. That's my game of the week.
So we're doing
Once
picks now?
again, we're kind of going all over the place here.
We really are.
Oh man, but definitely take the over. I know last week I missed on the over with the Rams and Seahawks, but you got to give me a little bit of slack there. Russell Wilson didn't play the second half. I think if he did, then the over definitely would have hit. So you got to give me a little bit of slack on that one. But I don't know. Are there any other games from last week that you want to talk about? I mean, London was actually a really good game.
I refuse to wake up that fucking early to watch two shitty teams go head to head. So,
But there was,
thank you.
look, London got to see some touchdowns, and that's all that I care about. It wasn't
But
some
the
like
Jets.
I
the
know,
Jets
I know,
Are you
I
fucking
know,
serious?
I know. Two horrible teams will get better.
We're sorry, London.
We're sorry, London. But look, at least they got to see some touchdowns, a competitive game. It wasn't some little field goal fest like a 3-9 or something, So I'm cool with it. Falcons came out with the win. So yeah, let's keep that London train going. I believe we ran out of Heineke. I don't know if you want to talk about our guy.
No, I'm just gonna chalk it up to. I'm just gonna honestly chalk it up to a bad game. Everyone has one. Okay, you can't expect everyone to go 17-0.
And let's talk about on that game really quick. How bipolar Jameis Winston is. Either he throws 4 or 5 touchdowns, or none at all.
Right,
and he decided to have a good game. So
it's like he saves them all up for just one game and goes the fuck off. Like he's just like, I'm not gonna throw any for like these next 3 weeks, and then surprise, here's 4.
I'm gonna make you question me at quarterback, and then the second you question me, I'm gonna toss 4 touchdowns.
And then surprise, I'm gonna be fucking Pro Bowl #1. You know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna chalk it up to just a shit day.
Okay.
You know what? That games like that will happen. Unfortunately, the defense failed Washington a little bit. I mean, it didn't help that Heineke threw 2 interceptions, but he threw for 248 yards. So it's not a total loss of a day. It's not the best day. It's not how you win a game, but defense has to step up a little bit. And I would really like to see them at least, hit double digits a couple of times per quarter.
Definitely.
At least like for instance, like New England, or I'm sorry, not New England. New Orleans had, 2 13-point quarters. That's how you win a fucking game.
Yeah.
So, but also going 20 for 41 is not how you progress. I'm just gonna chalk it up to a shit day. Fucking who do they have this week? Don't remember. Give me 2 seconds.
Heineke plays the Chief. Yep.
Yeah. Battle of the 2 and 3s. There's a little bit of history on the Chiefs sides. They have won 7 straight against Washington, so it would be interesting to see. I really think Heineke has a better game because evidently the Chiefs defense is gone missing and Frank Clark is on a milk carton.
Oh my god.
So
the Chiefs defense is just horrid, dude.
It's fucking liability.
Did you see the picture of with the Browns, or not the Browns, sorry, the Bills last week when Josh Allen hit Kevin Knox, the tight end, for a touchdown? Wide open, dude. Blown coverage.
Tyrann Mathieu.
And fucking Honey Badger is just sitting there. Oh my god, dude.
Okay, but that wasn't just one time. There was 3 different times in that game where Tyrann Mathieu was it Dan? Who is that fucking safety? Stevenson? No. Oh god, I can't remember his fucking name. But he got fucking blown up 3 different times. And Tyrann Mathieu was just staring at him like, are you fucking kidding me? Get Chris Conte 2.0 off my fucking team.
Yeah, the Chiefs definitely need to find some consistency over on defense. But you also got to be
5 weeks in. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just say 5 weeks in, you do not look like a Super Bowl favorite.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You look like a wild card team at best. You do not look like divisional favorites. You do not look like the same Chiefs that you've looked like the past 3 fucking years.
Right. Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, you've even got to be concerned on the other side of the ball. I believe, 2 years ago, Patrick Mahomes threw 6 picks in the season. Last year, he only threw 5. This year, he's already thrown 6 through 5 weeks. So the turnovers are up, and now you lost your running back in Edwards.
Oh, Edwards-Helaire.
Helaire, yeah. So
oh my god.
So now
fucking IR.
Yeah. So now you're gonna put more on Mahomes' shoulders and see. I don't want to get too much hype, but I really hope that Washington actually wins this game.
So do I. It's definitely going to be a true test of resiliency here. whether or not Mahomes can get back on track and stop with the interceptions and stop with the turnovers period. If the defense can get going, then if the defense can show up, then I have no doubt in my mind that the Chiefs will walk away with this game.
Yeah.
As far as I would consider this a trap game, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Strictly just because, like I said, their defense is so all over the place, and Taylor Heineke is hit or miss. Unfortunately, I would love to see Washington as a plus 500, not below 500.
Yeah, I'm looking at the line right now. It's KC by 7, and the over under at 56. I would have to go. I would definitely go. I take the under. No, I'm gonna go the under. Really? Yeah, I'm gonna go the under, and I would go actually Washington plus 7.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. That's definitely interesting.
So yeah, let's. You want to make some picks?
Well, we need to talk about the Gruden situation, sir.
Oh, we're gonna do that first. Okay, I thought. Okay.
I would say let's do that first, and then we'll close out with some picks.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay. So as far as everyone knows, this has been major headline. John Gruden has resigned as the head coach of the Raiders due to racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and just shitty ass emails being sent 11 years ago. Now, my take on this, and I will let you talk, Dev. Good fucking riddance. Here's my reasoning. He wants to sit there and say, it was 11 years ago. I wasn't even working for the NFL. And I've learned since then. You are 48 fucking years old. Okay. I learned at 7 years old not to make comments like that. Okay. You're 48. Fucking clean it up. Okay?
I agree.
You don't get any fucking sympathy. I don't give a shit if it was 11 years ago. I don't give a shit if it was 1 year ago. You don't fucking say that shit and expect anything less than. And I think I heard before he resigned, he was talking about sensitivity training and shit. Like, fuck you. You got no fucking business here. You fucking asshole. Go ahead.
I wholeheartedly agree. I know it started off with one email and one racial slur, but that still isn't acceptable. It wasn't acceptable 10 years ago, 11 years ago, whatever it was. It's definitely not acceptable today. There's no place for that in the NFL or in the world in general, but I'm just going to keep it NFL related for now. There are players that have been scared to come out and be themselves, and just because of the backlash that they would receive or think that they're going to receive from the NFL, and Gruden is the exact epitome of why people are scared to do that.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, he had an openly gay player on his fucking team.
Yes, I was about to say Carl Nassib came out I believe it was the preseason.
This offseason,
yeah.
This offseason or this preseason.
He felt that was the time, and I commend him for it. That was a fantastic job. That takes a lot of guts, and it really just makes you think, what was Gruden really thinking when Carl came out and said that? Because like what were his true thoughts after Carl said that? And we'll never know, But after that one email, there were reports of more emails and more slurs and worse slurs, directed to the commissioner, directed to other gay football players, and it's just unacceptable. 100%. I don't care if, it was different when you grew up in, God, whenever fucking, whatever the years were when he grew up. I'm too, I don't want to do the math right now, but, words said back then might not be okay to be said now. I'm not saying those words are ever okay to be said, but it's still like there's no place for it. Good riddance. It's gonna be really awkward now because he is actually neighbors with Derek Carr. They both built brand new houses when the Raiders moved out here to Vegas, right next to each other. So I don't, I don't see him staying in that house very long.
Right, I don't see him staying in Vegas.
Look, there was supposedly tons and tons of emails, stuff as insane as like him receiving pictures of the Washington football team's cheerleaders topless, like that they were forced to be topless and all kinds of stuff and be escorts, and that's just messed up. I really hope like the hammer comes down even harder on the Washington football team, because I know that they've always had some issues the past couple years as far as stuff like that. So there's no room for it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you make. It's not okay. It's not.
No.
So, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Actually, you know what? Let it hit you on the ass because you deserve it.
Honestly, smash every one of your fucking fingers in that door frame.
So, I'm glad justice was done. Like I said, I don't care if it was 10 years ago. It's still not okay to say it. I'm glad karma got him and it was released. I do not think that this is the only one that happens. I believe that there was going to be a snowball effect on these emails.
Yep.
So we just got to wait and see. And everybody that took part in it, everybody that helped keep it a secret, fuck you.
100%.
Woo! Okay.
Okay. Done.
Dunsies.
Done. All right, let's get into some picks.
All right, let's do it. All right, let me pull some shiz up here.
I have it up right now.
Well, I got it up too, senor.
Okay.
All right, we are starting off Thursday night football. The Bucks and the Eagles in Philly.
Oh, gee.
Oh, man.
I wonder who would win that one.
On three? 1, 2, 3. Bucks.
Eagles.
Ah!
Yeah, Bucks.
There was a report that Brady's hand or finger was a little sore. They said it's not going to be an issue. Even a 9-fingered Tom Brady can beat the Eagles. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind that the Bucks are going to come and just absolutely drag their balls all over Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Okay, there is absolutely zero doubt in my fucking mind.
Yep. So, moving on to the next game, we are back in London. And once again, London, we apologize.
Oh my fucking God.
We are so sorry. We're sending you the Dolphins and the Jags. I'm sorry. I hope they tie. Look, if Jacksonville is ever going to get a win this season, this is it. Because they go to London enough that it's like a home game for them. So they need to take advantage of this one-win team. And if they don't win this game, they're not going to win a game at all. So I'm going to go for the Jags. I'm hopeful. So I don't know if you have anything different. Are you going to go for...
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with the Dolphins.
Okay.
As absolutely insane as that sounds. I feel like they're pissed off about a fucking 45-17 loss against Tom Brady. I feel like Jacoby Brissett's going to come out and just wreak havoc. He did not have a bad game against the Bucks. Strictly Tom Brady was just better, and he took advantage. Tom Brady took advantage of a lacking defense. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence can make the reads as well as Tom Brady can. So with that being said, Jacoby Brissett had 2 touchdowns and 275 passing yards. So I just honestly I don't see the Jaguars being able to edge that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Dolphins on that one.
All right. So the next game, it's me versus you. It's Packers versus Bears. I know you're gonna pick the Bears. I'm gonna pick the Packers. So we're just gonna have to go and say, I wish you luck. I hope it's a good, clean game. I will not be betting you on this game this time. If you remember a couple years ago when I bet you a hat and I said if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, the bet is off. And Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and then he came back and won the game.
And then you said bet's back on.
You remember that interview though? That interview when like they gave Aaron Rodgers some drugs, bro.
He looks so fucking high, it was ridiculous.
Oh my god.
If I may touch on this a little bit, yes, they are in Chicago. Yes, the crowd will 100% be a factor in it. It is a 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock game.
10 o'clock Pacific.
10 o'clock Pacific our time. But yeah, I was just going Midwest time. I don't think the Bears can pull this one out.
I don't think so either. I'm literally unbiasedly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm scratching my head at? I'm looking at this line. Over under 44? Like,
yeah.
That's insulting. This is one of the best rivalries in the goddamn NFL, if not the best. This game will definitely go over 44.
I don't think it will.
There you go again.
I don't think it will. Just because, like...
Look, the Bears are going to score. The Bears are going to score 20. I promise you. Packers are going to score 20. I promise you. I promise you, this game's going over.
The Bears offense has just it's not there yet. It's not.
It's not, but it's a rivalry game. It's gonna be close. It's gonna have a playoff feel to it. Justin Fields coming off a win. I'm telling you, dude.
Justin Fields coming off a win. Our defense is jammed up.
Okay, but so is the Packers defense. We don't have Jair Alexander. Our best fucking corner is out. For the season, I believe. And we've never, ever been good at defending the run. And you guys have two phenomenal running backs now, not named David Montgomery. So, like, the Bears are going to score. It's a home game. Like, the Bears are going to score. They're not going to win. But
the Packers are favored by 4.5 to show you how close this game is going to be.
Exactly. And it's exactly why I'm going over. I'm not touching that 4.5. That half point is what is going to murder you. You need to definitely consider taking the over.
I would. Excuse me. I'll definitely take the over on that game.
So, exactly. So
that's going to be an interesting game. That, in my opinion, that is the game to watch.
Oh, it has to be. But just given who we are, it's got to be our game.
I mean, you're talking about a dogfight between two of the most winningest teams in the NFL.
Yep.
It's going to be. I always look forward, and I know exactly how it ends every year except for 2018. But I know.
By the way,
I know the fucking outcome. What?
By the way, at the Raiders Bears game, I saw baby Mike Ditka. It was hilarious. Props to the parents. Props to the parents.
That kid, that family is at every game. Not even joking you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Baby Mike Ditka, raise him right, I guess. All right, let's go to the next game here. We got the Bengals and the Lions.
Oh, gee. I wonder who will win that game.
I'm going to go Bengals. Even if Joe Burrow can't speak and call an audible, they'll still beat the Lions.
I mean, look at the track record. I mean, since he has won 6 straight games against Detroit, I really don't ever see Detroit beating the Bengals ever. Especially being 0-5. But the thing is, though, if you look at every one of the Lions games, it's been decided by a field goal with the exception of the Bears and Lions game. So it's been close. A lot of their games have been close, and it's been a heartbreak loss every time.
I just don't trust Jared Goff. He has fumble issues, and until he gets under control, you just can't trust their offense.
Now, let me ask you that. Is that a problem on Jared Goff, or is that a problem on the offensive line / the center?
It's
Because
Goff.
if you
It's Goff. 100%.
okay,
100%.
I don't know. I got Cincy winning that game. That's
Well, yeah, me too.
well, yeah. That didn't have to go without saying.
What's
Could've
concerning?
gone
No, I shouldn't say concerning. Easy bet on this one as well. Cincy 3.5. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it for sure.
Throw that on your parlay.
Yeah, definitely. Texans Colts. They are in Indianapolis. I'm gonna go Colts.
I'm taking Colts.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ever probably bet on the Texans or pick them to win this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on. Rams Giants. I hope Daniel Jones is okay. It'll definitely make it for a better, more competitive game. But even then, Saquon is out. I don't see the Giants moving the ball very well. I believe Kenny Galladay is also injured. So there's another reason. I think the Rams definitely win this one by at least 10 points.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you look at the track record, the Rams have 400 plus total yards in 3 straight games, which is tied for the longest active streak.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Rams by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. So not really much. Like I said though, I hope Daniel Jones is okay. I hope Saquon's okay. I hope everybody that got injured last week is okay. So
100%. It doesn't, even if they were healthy, you ain't beating the Rams.
Yep. So they're just a better complete overall team. If everybody's healthy on both sides, they're still just a better team.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs and the Washington football team. I'm still cracking open a Heineken. I'm gonna go for a Heineken all season, bro.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, the Chiefs' defense is just way too unpredictable. It's 100% a liability. So I gotta go with the WIFT, the Washington football team.
The WIFT.
I gotta the WIFT.
And, dude, Antonio Gibson is the backbone right now of the Washington football team. He's playing phenomenally.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
with like you said, with the Chiefs' defense being all out of whack, I'm gonna go Washington football team.
Did you see the line on that game?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's 7. I said I said I was gonna go.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Moving on.
Shut up. Shut up.
Vikings, Panthers. Look,
Panthers all day.
Look, the Panthers fell off, dude. Like they were on such a great start. I know that even they were doing great without Christian McCaffrey. But I don't know. I just the Vikings are such a wild card to me right now. Just because of Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, they're clicking.
No,
But
I got a bounce back game. This is a bounce back game for Carolina.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm gonna go Carolina. I'm gonna go Carolina, but I will not be surprised if the Vikings somehow pull this one out.
It's literally a 1-point spread.
Yeah. So here's one of my other game of the week. The Chargers and the Ravens.
Oh. That's gonna be such a good game.
Definitely take the over.
100%.
It's at 52. There's higher overs that I said take the over on this week. This one's almost a damn near lock. It's gonna be a shootout. I'm going Herbie fully loaded.
What's the over?
52. To put it into perspective, the Chiefs Washington football team game is 56. So yeah, so I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going Herbie fully loaded. Can't convince me otherwise. Definitely taking the over. Baltimore favored by 3. I would definitely go Chargers plus 3.
All right, ready? I'm gonna take the Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens. You had a really, really big win for the Ravens on Monday. Granted, it was against the Colts, but the Colts were beating you fucking ass up until halftime. And I think it's going to be a close game. I would 100% also take the over, but I think they're riding the high right now, and it's a short week for the Ravens, so I'm going to take the Ravens on that one. They're just kind of riding the high and riding the
Okay.
momentum. The 3-point favorites, I would say Ravens by 3. Yeah, I'd say 3 on the fucking nose, man.
Okay. Next one, I touched on this earlier. It's the Cardinals and the Browns. Touched on it earlier. It's going to be an insane game. Definitely taking the over. 49.5. Definitely taking the over. Cardinals cannot come out slow. They need to stay ahead. Cardinals are 3-0 on the game is in Ohio. So it's going to be cool because Cardinals undefeated on the road. Browns undefeated at home. Something's got to give. Browns
I'm taking
will
Browns.
win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns. It's not like the what's it called? Like the Denver experiment where you had 3 really easy opponents that went 0 for 9 in the first 3 weeks. The Browns are just a good team, and the record unfortunately doesn't show it. But I think Arizona's due for a loss. And I think that the loss is definitely going to come from the Browns.
Yep.
Um,
Especially
Baker
after watching
Mayfield
them
is
last week against the Chargers. They just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that shootout. Someone had to lose that game. It sucked. But I don't see the Cardinals keeping up.
No, I agree with you on that one. I believe, in all honesty, I think they're going to start slow, and then Baker's just going to run with it.
It's possible. And Nick Chubb. You have the two-headed monster, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also want to point something out real. Were you talking about the shootout with the Chargers? Were you talking about the Browns, the Cardinals?
I was talking about last week with the Browns and the Chargers, that being a
Okay.
shootout.
All right, my bad. I thought you
yeah.
said the Cardinals and Chargers. I was like,
No. Browns, Chargers.
Sir, they're not going to play back to back like that.
All right, so next game, we got the Raiders going into Denver. I think with everything going on in the Raider organization right now, morale's at an all-time low. Denver's due for a win to show that they're not a fluke. I got Denver by a field goal.
Okay, so I'm gonna counteract that point real quick. I'm gonna go the Raiders on that one strictly because I feel like Derek Carr is gonna enact his captain ability with Darren Waller as kind of his second in command, just because of the connection that they've had this year so far. Maybe Hunter Renfrow thrown into the mix too, but I really feel like it's gonna have like a hey, we're doing this for us, no one else type mentality going into the game, and they're kind of gonna go arm in arm, especially with Carl Nassib. Kind of being the front runner in that, given the email situation and what was said, especially with him being on the team with Gruden at the time, or not at the time, but when everything came out. I definitely think that it's going to be a "you're my brother, I got your back" type situation. I think they're really going to rally together against Denver.
Okay, I hope so. I hope I'm wrong on this one. I really
That'd be
do.
that would be one hell of a story, though.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
So I'm gonna take the Raiders on that one.
Okay. Next game, we got the Cowboys going into Foxborough. Look, as much as I hate to say it, the boys are on a roll, dude.
They really are. That was a 41-point outing last week.
Yeah, they're looking good. Zeke looks like his old self. I'm going Cowboys easy.
I gotta take the Cowboys on this, and here's my only reason. It had nothing to do with a 24-point win against the Giants, because let's be honest, the Giants are extremely banged up right now. But the fact of the Patriots barely edging out a win against the Texans, I don't see them going up against the team that has a lot of momentum like Dallas right now. At home, on the road, it kind of doesn't matter. I definitely have the Cowboys winning that game.
Yeah, definitely. Next game, Seahawks and Steelers. They're in Pittsburgh. No Russell Wilson.
No Juju.
No Juju. That is a good point. I'm gonna go Steelers just because it's a home game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means. We'll see.
I say take the under on that one.
42.5. That's a really low one. I say stay away from that. It's a really, really low one. Because even bad teams can score sometimes. So
yeah, honestly, I might take the Seahawks on that one because Gino didn't look bad. He had a touchdown.
No, he didn't.
He didn't look bad. I kind of want to take the Seahawks on that one just because missing Juju is a huge piece that Steelers are missing right now, especially because he's going to be out for the rest of the season with that. Was it the pec tear? Was that him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I I don't see the Steelers coming out with a win on that one. I understand they have Chase Claypool and who's their tight end that's been lighting it up? It's not Eric Ebron. Is it Eric Ebron? I don't remember.
Is it Eric Ebron? I don't know.
Is it Eric Ebron? I don't remember. I think didn't Ebron play for the Raiders last year?
No,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He wasn't a Raider, was he?
Was he?
No, he was not. He was not a Raider. No.
I don't know.
No.
Podcast. We don't know shit.
No, because last year it was Darren Waller, Jason Witten.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So he was not a. He was. Not a Raider.
But I think that missing Juju is gonna hurt a lot. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks on that one. I think having a full game and full control of your offense for Gino is gonna either make or break. I think this is gonna be a good game for Gino.
Okay.
Like I said, he didn't look bad. He went 10 for 17, had over 100 yards coming in halfway through with a touchdown and a pick. So I don't necessarily think it's gonna be low scoring for sure, separated by a field goal, I would say. But
yeah,
I got the Seahawks on that one.
Okay. Here's an interesting Monday Night Football game. The Bills and the Titans.
The rematch of the infamous stiff arm.
It's in Nashville, but I'm still gonna go Buffalo.
Oh, I still gotta go Buffalo on that one. Tannehill is not the answer, and I really feel like he's getting bailed out because Derrick Henry's on your squad. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm not saying he is or is not the answer. I'm just saying he needs a better weapon on offense. Yes, you have Derrick Henry, but I mean, you need a better receiver. You got Julio,
Absolutely.
You got AJ Brown, but guess what? They're both hurt. They can't stay healthy. You need the equivalent of like a DeAndre Hopkins, a Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
You need someone of that caliber on the Titans to make them a serious contender.
No, I agree with that. Also, I mean, the Bills have just been running away with that division so far.
Yeah.
I really don't think that a lot of teams are going to stop them. I wouldn't necessarily call them Super Bowl favorites, but it's too early to tell for that, obviously. But I don't see them losing that game, especially because they've won 4 straight games so far with 18 plus points. So
right,
it's kind of hard to stop that momentum as it is. I definitely got the Bills winning that game for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
We agreed on a lot of games.
We did, shockingly, yeah.
That's like the first, because usually I'm always like picking a counterpoint. But
and just to add, we do have bye weeks start this week. We have the Falcons, the Saints, the Jets, and the Niners. The Jets are still going to find a way to lose a game, and Zach Wilson will still throw. He'll still throw an interception or 5.
Oh man, I'm actually I'm kind of stoked to see when the Niners come back if Jimmy G plays again, because I know that with his calf injury is still day to day, or I'm sorry, week to week.
Look, if I'm the Niners, I give up on Jimmy G just because he's proven.
You're rocking with Trey Lance?
I am, because Jimmy G has proven he can't stay healthy. He's a great quarterback, but he's not the guy that you can rely on to get you through a whole season. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
So
can't complain.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
Baseball playoffs are in full swing.
Yes.
We got game 5, Dodgers and Giants tomorrow, and then ALCS starts next week. against not next week, the day after.
Yep. Yep.
The Red Sox and Astros.
Yeah. Who's your favorite
For what?
for the series, for the World Series? Who do you got right
World
now?
Series?
Yeah.
Um,
My favorite was eliminated. I was going for the White Sox.
You got
but-
shit on, sir.
Yeah.
I would say honestly, look, I hate the Astros, but top to bottom, if you take out the whole cheating bullshit, top to bottom, their lineup and their pitching is really good. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how it plays out against a scrappy team like Boston. It's definitely going to be cool to see. My favorite, it's really gonna have to. I'm really gonna have to give that to you after the Giants and Dodgers game tomorrow, because I honestly think whoever comes out of that game is winning it all.
Definitely. Okay.
But I would say probably the Giants if I had.
I hope the Giants.
I want KD to get a second ring.
Look,
I really do.
I've
He's so deserving of it.
I've always been a guy of, if my team can't win the championship, I want a team from my division to win the championship. I know it sucks rooting for your rivals, but at least it shows that is a good division. It's it gives more respect to that division sports wide. Doesn't matter what sport it is. So I'll never you'll never see me rooting for the Dodgers, but I do like it when teams in my division win rings.
I would like to disagree with you on that one. Strictly because like the way that I look at it is if my team isn't in it, I want my city to do well. So like my pick was the White Sox just because I want another championship in Chicago.
Yes, that's a different story. I do agree. I will agree with you there.
Not everyone has the luxury of having like Arizona doesn't have 2 baseball teams. California's got 4. Like
right. No, okay.
But,
okay. I do agree. Okay. I'll give you that. I will say let me add on to my statement then. Someone from my division or someone from the hometown.
Yeah, exactly. My biggest thing is you'll never catch me rooting for the Cardinals or the Brewers in the playoffs ever. I would rather chew my own foot off and walk into traffic than to pull for either one of those teams. So I'm glad that both of them were eliminated in the first round.
Right.
I got a lot of ties with the Giants, specifically because like we have a family friend who unfortunately passed away from 2 different kinds of cancer. Who's a big Giants fan, and
fuck cancer.
I swear to God. Also KB is now rocking with the orange and black, so I got a lot of love for KB. I thought Chicago did him really dirty. I thought the Ricketts did him really dirty, and honestly, I hope that he signs a big extension in the offseason. With San Francisco, especially because it's closer to Vegas, where he's from.
Definitely, yeah.
I want my favorite's the Giants so far, so it's gonna be fun to watch tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Oh, the Hawks play tonight. 2 hours. I'm excited.
And everybody, please keep a eye out. We have discussed possibly doing a shorter podcast for hockey for this season of NHL. So stay tuned for that. I personally hope that it happens and that we can get that done. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy with all of our football stuff right now. So yeah.
Thank you everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe because right now it's strictly on YouTube until we can figure out how to the best way to get it onto Spotify as of right now. So please like it, subscribe it, share it around, call us out. If you think that we're talking out our ass, fucking say something. We'll talk about it on the pod.
Definitely. And who knows? We might even have you on the podcast. We might debate this shit live. So let's go. Really quick, I do want to give a shout out to Man Cave Sports and Radio. They gave us a shout out last week on their show. sent us a couple of people, so I just wanted to return the favor and give them a shout out. You can catch them every Sunday at 2 o'clock on 1400 AM radio. I believe they go from about 2 to 4 o'clock. Make sure to check them out. My buddy Tony is one of the guys over there, so I appreciate the shout out, Tony, and thank you so much. And hopefully we can do a collaboration soon. That'd be pretty freaking cool.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome. So,
right.
yeah, we thank you for that. Wraps up week 5 NFL for us, and we'll see you guys next week for week 6. Have a good one, guys.
Later.